Good afternoon, golf fans, and welcome back to the Sienna Voluto for the second round of 4 of the 2026 the Sienna Open. We had fantastic conditions for our first round domestically of the 2026 season yesterday, and we are once again facing another wonderful afternoon on this early April Friday. It is 22 degrees with mostly sunny skies as we head on down to the golf course for the first time today. Over the course of the next 3 hours, we will sort out our cut from 120 players who has it in store to progress to the weekend's concluding rounds. EA1 certainly expects to be amongst that company. She is one of 14 players at the moment at 3 under par, which is tied for the 10th best score of the week so far. Solid initial efforts leading to the 2-putt par. Now Coach E1, she led for basically the entire day yesterday, from the time she made it to the clubhouse until the time we finished our 120th player. It has admittedly been a bit quieter out the gates, still at 5 under where she finished yesterday after that 67. But with a good tee shot, could be looking at her first birdie of this Friday. Over to 6, it's No Sung-yi at +3. She needs to pick up at least 2 strokes to feel comfortable about where she sits in the pecking order here. Currently tied for 79th position. Had a chance for a birdie there, but her miss is to the right. It was a 75 in her opening round yesterday. She had a birdie at the 2nd and a bogey at the 5th. Here's our leader. It's Yang Yo-jin. 68 in the opening round. Picked up 3 more strokes already today. And she was able to do so far via birdies at 7, 4, and 2. Back to 6. This time it's Pengxin Shield. Left to right breaking putts. Gave herself a bit too much space out the left this time. Sogia Reem also failing to convert on a birdie chance, has little more than a few centimeters remaining. Park Ji-young at +2 has this look at 5 meters. We expect this to flash back towards the fringe. It'll be bottom to top from where we watch left to right for Park Ji-young. It's nearly there, but nearly doesn't impact the scorecard the way she wants it to. just inside the fringe. It comes close. Coach E1, second birdie of the round. To a tie for second at 6 under par. Approach time for our leader, 116, her third shot of the par 5. Left located pin in this second round, and we've lost her somewhere. Either sand or rough. Either ways, a little spell of trouble.
핀 바로 어차피 저기 라이트 살짝 사람까지 거기 왼쪽 힘들거든요. 네, 알겠습니다.
It's the A1. She certainly arrived at the course with her best game at the ready. She has been scintillating to start the round. Jill +2 tee shot at 7. She's going with a 9. Ends it short. Clears the rough. Stays on the fringe. To the green, checking the winds. further ado, Nosumi and a 7-iron at the ready. That little extra weight was evidently very well worth it. Back with our leader. Outside look at a birdie, 11.3. This feels a lot more like a setup shot than one should expect to make. Ends up being exactly as predicted. So Gilream out to the back left, right where the pin is today. A really nice on. There's Kim Gaoi. +5 means she really needs to pick up the tempo. This would go a long way towards that. Looked like it had everything it needed to roll in. A little hesitation hovering over the cup before eventually stopping just short. Young Eugene downhill and with way too much speed, that goes well past the pin. She'll now her second of the par 3. 98% of the way there, but short. Four-footer up the hill, but lots of left to right break on it. It's a double bogey as our leader plummets down to 5 under. She gets her closer and has the legs to go. EA1, number 3 in the birdie column today. Extra impressive considering her round opening double bogey. .9 and a crescent-shaped putt for Bae So-hyun here. Sungi staring down a birdie. Needs a couple of them. And that's going to go. Okay, something to build on. Second birdie already in this front nine. Still just tied for 65th position, but nearing the turn with some momentum on her side. Get right. Started to think about it. G1 fresh off that birdie and with the double elsewhere, once again finds herself at the top of the podium, at least on an interim basis. Kochi-1's third at the par 5. Looking left, heading left. Good one. .63 meters per second, the ball speed off the driver, and we know that has some carry, 211 meters to be precise. Yulin out the left in the rough, 94 meters. She's going to look for the green. All things considered, it's not a bad effort from the tree line. Hardly any movement on that. 2 meters of curve basically means that's straight as an arrow. drive of the lot, 224 the carry rate down the middle of the fairway. Gazing off towards the cherry blossoms on the horizon. And what we can tell you is we are currently looking at a four-way lead, or four-way tie for the lead. Kim So-jung, Lee Se-hee, Seok-yo-rim, Ko Chi-won, and at the last refresh, we see Kim So-ah, the amateur, with a fast start, 2 under through 5, makes it 5 at the top. It's tight as our second round coverage of the SIENA Open 2026 is well underway. Well, we pick things back up here in Gyeonggi-do on a Friday. EA1 advancing down the fairway. And Ko Chi-won with some company. She wouldn't be the first to 7 under, but she'd be the only one at that score at the moment. Downhill putt, it was quick. It's no Sungi. Not going to try to reach, just a simple layup with the hybrid. Kim Gawi, 7 iron, approaching 9. And today, back right corner. That's where she heads, rolls onto the fringe for a moment, gets some help. She rolls back down in a good line towards her birdie. Close call from the rough. A little more than a tap in to finish. Eileen, you can count them up, 7 pars now in a row. Tied for 12th position. And Eugene, bit of an awkward one with this downhill lie. Heavy lifting now done. Let's head back to 9. Young Eugene. A bounce back with the birdie. Yes! Good one. Needed that in a big way after a unfortunate series of strokes the hole prior, leading to a high score. Joined no swinging at the 8th, 108. Middle of the green, but heavy to the left. That's exactly where she goes. Clears the dance floor and ends up on the fairly flat section of fringe. She'll be able to putt from there. Only at the halfway point of her round, but time is running out for Kim Gawi. She'll be thinking about her short game next, DA1. Such a narrow sliver of fairway at 9. Not particularly unforgiving on either side. Doesn't make it any the less impressive, though, for those who are able to find it. She'll bump and run here at the 8th. Now it's shot 3, so she's setting up her birdie. She'll feel very good about that. One of the long drivers on tour. One of 15 and a third. Up the hill to start, then down. Oh. Pretty close to perfectly on line. It's already been a weekend to remember from Game Soa. Her time, no Sungi. Thinking about the back 9 comeback. Machine Shield, fabulous power, eating up a lot of distance with the first 2 shots. She gets up and down for her birdie. Coach Yuan A debutante back in 2023, won the Jeju Samdesu Masters last August. She was just playing as a qualifier in that tournament, so she was able to secure her position on tour through 2027. She also won the SL Championship in November. And this performance, albeit very early, despite missing the cut in Thailand a couple of weeks ago. Easy finish for EA1, it's her par. Sogyo Reem for the outright lead at 7 under as she starts the back 9 and hopes to start it with a birdie. Another downhill putt, little left to right break at the end. Not for the first time today, we're seeing the speeds of these greens. They're rapid, causing some serious difficulty. Soa's next, still just on hole number 6. She is just not going to be able to reach 7 under par. 2012 born amateur. Here is a sponsored player. Drives yesterday up to 290 yards, had an eagle, 7 birdies. Punction Shield paying off here at 9. Let's watch the carry here. 230 maybe? Oh, 240. That is a cannonade. She can drive with the best of them. How much power you're going to go through your fair share of gloves over the course of a year. Sponsors always at the ready to keep her equipped. Next up is EA1. No slouch either. She hits the big club.
Shot.
233, but she's off into the rough. Me.
Shot.
Taking another glance at the leaderboard and where we sit at the moment. +1 was the target score some 40 minutes ago when we began. Quick refresh and check in where we are. That remains to be the case. So, expected cut. +1 is what you need. 63 players from the 120 currently at that mark, barring a big drop-off from some of those players At +1, we would see the likes if all the rounds were finalized now. Park Hyung-kyung, No Sung-hee, Han Jin-sun, Park Hae-jun, the list goes on. Shi Han-sol, all currently on the wrong side of the line.
내리막이야.
Long way down. Great looking putt, considering where it started. She'll waltz off with a 2-putt par. Kim Go-wi 2, 8-iron at number 10. Young Eugene's approach at the par 4 10th. Gets most of the way back to the back right. Decent position back there. Yulin, this is a par save and not an easy one. Right to left to start, moving back online at the end. She is successfully able to avoid her bogey. On 7, we'll have half a round to pick up 2 strokes. That is assuming she prevents herself from falling to +4 with a miss on this par putt. She hits the turn. Birdie at 3 and a bogey at 8 for an even 36. Down past the water, 146 and a 6-iron for No Sung-hee. Rolls that within about, let's call it 6 feet. KLPGA 2. Needs 4 on this back 9. Pretty well every other hole to keep herself in contention. It's not a bad try, but she had bitten off a bit more than she could chew. E1's approach is next. She is in the rough after that long drive. 117. Gone with pitching wedge. Seemed to be the right club. That leaves Pengxin Shield, and she'll go closest to the pin. After Pengxin Shield's approach, this is an uphill putt for a birdie. A straight one, and there is a bird to celebrate. Tee shot of the par 3. A long flight down. A little bit deeper than pin height, and a spot you can certainly work with. We're nearing the top of the hour, which would bring us to the end of the opening hour here on a Friday in Gyeonggi-do. It's the SIENA Open 2026, still 5 tied for the top spot. Beg your pardon. We have a 6th up in there now as Lee Se-hee, So Gyo-rin, Kim So-jung, Young Yo-jin, Ko Chi-won, and our low amateur Kim So-ah all sharing the spoils. So we take a quick break and promise to be back on the other side with more. The back nines coming thick and fast, the first few holes of them here on the KLPGA Tour. What a way to welcome you back. Kim So-ah has a third birdie in 7 holes and takes the outright lead at 7 under par. What a story we are seeing blossom in front of our very eyes. It's familiar territory for No Sung-hee, at least that had been in 2025. She's been fighting it a bit to start this tournament. That was a chance for 1 over, but she just misses her putt for birdie. Will settle for a 2-putt par. Polite applause from the supporters as they understand that she's going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. Shin Shield trying to crack even at the turn. There it is. That's a nice bird. Back to back, in fact. We'll head to 10. With a 36 on her way out. Sogyo-rim. It's called as 6 meters between her and a birdie. Right to left breaking. Carrying a bit too much speed, it sails past. So Hyun on the par 5 also misses out on the birdie as it goes wide right. Coach Ji-won on a pitching wedge on number 10. Sold +4 after 28 holes. Look at a birdie here on the par 5, and she's able to roll it in.
수고하셨습니다.
Shield Boyd with confidence after that birdie. Nearly 11 meters here for Coach E1. Very mindful of the downhill nature of that putt.
수고하셨습니다.
Another massive drive for EA1, this time 238 meters on the carry at the par 4. Based on what we thought, that looked like it was going to be massively problematic. In fact, No Sungi benefits from a fortuitous bounce and chews up another 25-30 meters off the tee. Meter approach, leaving a bit to be desired. Kimminson 7. Our focus is on 2 birdies on the back 9. Could this be the first, and vis-a-vis half of what's needed so early on the Lutze course? And it is indeed their first birdie since the 3rd hole, tied for 64th position now.
그냥 간단하다 생각해도 또 팀스는 다 괜찮으니까. 그러니까 이게 지금 팀 경선을 있는 거지. 이쪽 너무 가거든요. 만나니까. 그냥 팀 바로 들어가는 바로 들어가는.
EA1 at 113 meters away. Pitching wedge or a 9. Got that club selection all wrong. But no cigar. Punching Shield could dream for a moment about an eagle. She gets those birdies and suddenly it's like she's a completely different golfer. Confirmed as we check back in with No Sungi at the 10th.
Sure.
So Gyorim off into the trees after her opening shot at 12. With number 2 though, she is on and off the green. Short-lived. It would have been a great shot yesterday with the pin placement. Slightly less so today. Kim So-ah with a 3rd birdie today. Only Isahi, pardon me, and Mata Som have had better rounds thus far on this Friday afternoon. Time for another break. Back with more, don't you worry, from the Siena Open 2026, live on the KLPGA Tour. And we welcome you back to hole number 10, EA1, setting up her par. At least that's what she hopes will be the outcome, and should be the outcome with the close chip. Another shot that ends up pretty well pin high from off the green. Machine Shield's on a tear. Birdie here takes her under par. All that positive momentum needs an abrupt halt. So I try to make it a two-stroke lead. She isn't the first to fall victim to that exact downhill putt.
Good putt.
Quickly dusts herself off and recovers for a par. Just a meter and a half. Par for her as well. Young Eugene 172. Trying to reach with the hybrid. Misses out on the green altogether. Kochi 1, always going to be a tricky putt, riding the crest of the wave that was the line of that putt. Punching Shield next up at 11. 517 meters. The A1's drive, the group is away and marching down the hill as the par 5 begins. So here at 9. That's a pitching wedge at 118 meters. A refresher since it's been a while. Back right of the green, the flag today. And it's not quite close to the pin. Closest to the pin, pardon me, but it's right there, thereabouts. In the most simple par she'll have today. Kim Gaoi at 12 at +4. Look at this starting to come true. Serpentining putts that will require one more crack to finish the hole. Can't catch Kim So-ah here, but she can stay good and close. So 2.6 meters for young Eugene, but she's missed it. Sharp break right, and that'll be a bogey. on her first bogey today. I suppose, depending on how pedantic we want to be, it is. Little front 9 double. Saw her take a hit. .288 for No Sung-Yi. Wasn't going to be able to reach even someone with that much power.
오른쪽 넘어가 내가 오른쪽 안 넘어가 계속 타면 차리로는 안 넘어가.
EA1 271, her second of the par 5. Shield 30 meters closer, 258 off the tee. So Gilreen approaching 13. Spin from the wedge keeps her right where she lands. So I just can't be stopped. 32 on the way out. A 64 that she's on pace for would smash records at this course. Certainly it would set a tournament benchmark. This is the first time we've played the SIENA Open. No Sung-Yi 110 at 11. Back right corner. Shield. Not one to write home about. but one of the many that's required to make up a good round. .68 meters, EA1, yes, right on the money. Put that on our daily highlight reel. Midway mark of the round, Kim So-ah starting to pull away, 4 under. It took her just 9 holes to get there. It took Lee Se-hee all 18 to record her 68. There will be twists and turns, of course, on the back 9, but for now, the advantage is 2 for the amateur. So our coverage of the SIENA Open 2026 will resume in just a few moments. Well, we were just about able to go back-to-back, returns from break with birdies. Bung Chun-Jil coming awfully close. Approaching down towards the green, but short, ending up on the fringe. No Seung-Hee trying to walk that in. Big smile for No Seung-Hee, who's in a much more comfortable way about her in the second round. And that is a bit of a surprise, but the best kind. With a birdie. For today, she is now 2 under cumulatively for this Friday afternoon, and just 1 back, knocking right on the door of our leader to 12 with Kim In-sun's 7. .3 meters as she stares down this putt. Move hard right. And cue the break right about now. Here it comes. There it goes. One of the putts of the day. And 2 birdies and 3 now for Kim In-sun's 7. +2 has become the new projected cut, so that gives her a little bit of breathing room and is all of a sudden within reach of the top 50. EA1's tee shots. Some left. Ends up in the rough. Becoming a birdie party. Coach Yuan up to 3 through 12 holes. Finally hits the 7 under thresholds. Is 1 back of the lead as well now. Sungi's tee shot here, 12. A big blast over the water fountain and into the fairway. Young Eugene not quite able to see 6 under after that putt. So Gilream, decision, 8 iron, 128 at 14. Lands that a pace or two before the flag, but carrying a lot of speed. Will roll and stop it back the green. Tee shot at 15, 6 iron. Lands pin high, but will continue to about 8 meters beyond the pin.
앞은 아닐 거야.
Kim So-a's advantage down to 1. Kochi 1 with a birdie at 12. Takes sole possession of second. Kim So-jung, Lee Se-hee, So Gyo-rim, and Kim Ji-young 2. Tied for third, 2 back at 6 under par. Kim So-a, our leader. Has been pretty dialed with the wedges today, as you'd expect for someone at that marker. What does EA1 have in store for us here? Pengxin Shiel, the blind shot at 12. Just glances the border of the fringe of the green and is within 4 or 5 meters. That's a serious display of skill. She's still a ways off yet from really challenging the first page of the leaderboard, but she has got her mojo back. 2 under today through a dozen, has her at eventide for 44th. That puts her 8 back of Kim Soa and her flawless tournament to date. A lot of golf still to be played, of course, but for a player that had 5 bogeys yesterday, 8 birdies and an eagle, she's found 4 birdies already today and is showing no signs of slowing down. The most recent updates, we're looking at a projected cut of +1. And we'll step aside back in a moment with more from the SIENA Open. Right back to work. Kim Soa. It's an opportunity for yet another birdie, but she'll have to settle for par here. Sogyo Reem facing 13 1/3. It's a long putt and gets herself about 13 of those meters. EA1 looking for 6 under. This is looking short and right, and it is both of those things. Kochi one, nice and tight to the pin.
많이 없어. 아, 좋나?
Means on 7. Par 4, very nice on. Punishing Shield misaligned to the inside, taking the birdie off the table. Young Eugene, there was a time where she was very much in the conversation with the contenders. On 7-1, she should have, for the sake of her chances to contend this week, one she seemingly must have. Left to right break and glances the outside edge, but not enough to fall.
형님 차가 그때 우리 팀에서 같은 그 끝나요? 청라에서도 분명히 있었잖아요.
There we'll go. Kochi one back-to-back now, a co-leader. And birdie at 13. EA1 hoping for the same results. Drive splits the distance between the fairway and the cart path. the green to aim for. Unfortunately, that tee shot doesn't find any of it. Peng Shil is next. .305 the distance from the tee to the pin on the par 4. Lands on the fairway side of that mound of rough as we head over to 14 with Young Eugene. It's a long one. Starting this well right. Break comes in right on cue. Close call from long range. Soul 6.3, a long one. And she hangs on. That's a birdie. Hasn't seen one since hole number 3. Brings her back into the top 60, tied for 56th position. And with that, our second hour has come to a close. Daydreaming towards the cherry blossoms as we near the 4 o'clock hour from the Siena Voluto, first domestic tournament of the year on the KLPGA Tour. Okay, very good shot indeed as the gallery shouts their adoration. An approach from the fairway over the water, clearing the ribbon bunker and onto the putting surface. be outdone. The succeeding shot follows suit. And we make it a perfect 3 for 3, 83 meters out. Well, yes, she can. Save that par, keeping herself within reach. Down in the rough, it wasn't the shot she was hoping for. Coach E1. She is back where she'll feel like she belongs based on that first round. Sharing the lead, hardly putting a foot wrong. Preparations for EA1. She thought she had covered all of her bases. Kim So-ah has the benefit of a few more holes to play to try to boost this score. Trying to reach in 2 on the par 5, ends up just short. more speed than she needed. Young Eugene was the last to tee off in the group with the par 3 and comes close to dreaming about an ace. No luck either for Bungchin Shield. Second putt for the par. So at 24 meters out. So he's closer to 30. Kochi 1 is not going to see 9 under after that putt. This is Nosumi looking to avoid a double. Secures the bogey to a relatively quiet group of patrons in behind. .7 Kingman Seoul. So we'll take her to even par downhill. She's at the mercy of gravity now. I was hoping she had her line, but unfortunately didn't quite have the read. Near miss for the amateur. Young Eugene ends the birdie drought. It had been 6 holes since putting a circle on the scorecard. Something to say yet about how the leaderboard looks in about an hour's time. Now, well, Red delivers.
네, 알겠습니다. 카메라 들지 말아주세요.
EA1 has 5 holes left on her Friday. Muscles that drive to the upslope of the fairway. Shinchil goes next. So rapid. 68 meters per second at launch. Kochi-1, if she misses, she drops out of her share of the lead. Something she'll have to worry about as she walks over the next tee. We had the opportunity for a change at the top, but things have remained steady. Kochi-1, 8 under through 14. Kim Soa, the amateur, 8 under through 11. Lots of the back 9 still to be played, not just for those two, but for many in the hunt to reshape the leaderboard before day's end. The first domestic event of the season here on the KLPGA Tour. Turn the kettle on, pour yourself a tea, and be back on the other side of a quick break for more from the SIENA. Great to see the gallery continuing to grow as we move very steadily towards the weekend. A lot of golf fans in this country have been anxiously awaiting the return of the KLPGA Tour. Sergio Green, going over the pin. No position in the fairway. Normally I'd say there's a lot of trust in that camera operator, but for these pros, it's not even a consideration. Almost had a bird's eye view for an ace from Coach C1, which in the blink of an eye would have vaulted her to double digits under par. It's not quite that dramatic, but it's still a very good tee shot. An uphill approach. 118, probably play closer to 130. 9-iron was her pull, and it seems to have been the right decision. The cup is blinded from view. Just over the left shoulder of Sogyorim. Pulls herself out. Didn't quite like what she was looking at. Evidently, whatever she noticed that wasn't quite right was enough to warrant a slight change to the plan of attack. Leads to her birdie. Pardon me, leads to her par. Already thinking ahead to EA1 here, and well, the odds aren't in her favor. Have a rules official out just to clarify the placement and what can be moved and what can't be. Play. See where one of our co-leaders is at as she makes her way towards the forest. So some clarity for EA1. Now it's down to the final preparation stage. Okay, so the landing point established. Plans in place. Now it's just down to execution. This is EA1's attempts. A lot of grass to traverse. Good things come to those who wait. EA1's patience is paid off. Pays off, I suppose. Now, the penultimate hole, the par 3, a look at a birdie and 2 under. Right to left breaking. And it falls with a rattle. First birdie since hole number 3. She's up to a tie for 26th at 2 under. Kings on 7 will roll this up the hill. Getting close from scoring off the green. Two putts make sure of the par. Peng Xin putting for birdie at 14. Stopping just a hair short on the first attempts. Second nudge gets her the rest of the way. Coach E1, if she can thread this needle on a right to left breaking putt, the lead is hers outright. And off she goes to 9 under, her 3rd birdie of the back 9 and her 5th on the day. Still with 3 holes to play. Eight iron is the decision for Sogyo Rin at the par 3. Heading towards the back left. Inside of the sand traps, just about in the shadow of the flag. And Eugene, 91 meters only. How close can she get with the wedge in hands? Answer, very. The backspin comes in right on cue. Marvelous. Approach onto the green. Kim Seoul. Quiet tournament thus far. That's not quiet, that's loud. That's the gallery applauding. Much more movement on this Friday. We're not quite yet in peak bloom season, but glimpses of what might come in the summer. 22 degrees today. KLPGA rolling out a new comfort index for the supporters ahead of the season. On a scale of 10, today is ranked as a perfect 10. Not too sunny, not too windy, not a rain cloud in sight. More of a wild ride with lots of break for the amateur. Unfortunately it's the first proper blemish today, and it's a rather big one. Double bogeys. The final holes of the afternoon. Final stretch for Coach E1 and her group. 503 this last par 5. 17 short par 3, and then par 4 to tie a bow on the day.
네, 알겠습니다.
Seven iron selected by EA1. Rolling back down the hill onto the front third of the green. He's actually going to get a fair bit of help here. Kim Min Sol. She's back to even par. And Young Yo Jean did all of her hard work leading up to this moment. Back-to-back birdies, and with the double bogey a few moments ago, she is suddenly within grasp of Miss Coe's top spot. Eight iron for Peng Xingxiu, even after 32 holes this week on the fringe off the tee. Low percentage attempt for Sogyo Reem. Complexity with that added distance. Sumi with her 7 iron works that to pretty well pin high. Final half an hour looms. Kochi 1's advantage is 2 over Yang Yeo-jin. Kim So-jung, Lee Se-hee, So Gil-rim, Kim Ji-young 2, and Kim So-ah round out the podium positions for now. EA1, an admirable 2-under performance to sit tied for 8th at 5 under with Cho Eun-chae, Matasom, Kim Shi-hyun, Kim Ae-eun 2, Son Ye-bin also at that 4-under score here at the Siena Open. And welcome back. EA1 putt down towards the front third. It's not going to come together for her here. From the fairway, green light to launch the second for Kochi 1. Punching Shield, putting from the fringe. Outside look at a bird. quite breaking in time. With this quick break, let's flash over to 17, Young Yo-Jin. She has an 8-iron. Run the perimeter. And no swingy. It's crunch time for her. And unfortunately, that's a bit more representative of how the 2 rounds have gone. Have to settle for a par. Park Ji-young, haven't seen her yet today. Let's see how she fares on 16, her third. Oh, with a little backspin, setting up a birdie. Few feet is all that will be left for her. And EA1 to avoid a bogey now. Uphill, this will be tricky. Nicely done though. Avoid slipping. Meters on the nose. Kochi-1 approaching. Not quite the backspin she was hoping for. Ends up being a setup for a par. Kinsoa chasing as the last couple of holes, 73 meters. Will work out just fine, thank you very much. After 33 holes, Pengxin Shil is a perfect even. Over half a kilometer, the last of her long holes begins here with 3 to play. So at the same score, 1 hole further along. Putting for birdie, and that's going to fall. 5 now on the day to go along with 3 bogeys. Okay, No Sung-hee. The math is not in her favor despite a solid first drive. With 3 holes to play, she is 3 strokes past even, and she needs to find at least 2. No such problems for Coach E1. Speaking about her round to the KLPGA Tour media crew, saying, quote, overall my shots were good, getting close to the pin and had many chances. My putting wasn't bad either. I'm satisfied because I feel like I played a stable game. The greens were on the fast side, but it felt similar to the team competition last month, so I didn't have much difficulty. I would say that's a bit of an understatement when we consider that incredible opening round she had. 67. EA1 now. All right, not much to do but execute, and that's what Bak Ji-young does. So Gyorima was 124 on her approach. Is there a course correction here? Kim So-ah for 7 under. This will go down. We have seen these downhill putts and their speed cause a stumble or two today, but it's not the case here. Claws one back. EA1 second, 293. First drive is a good one. Let's see how Coach E1 follows up. Okay, lacking drama as you'd expect the drives to do. And No Sung-hee, 279, not even a full swing here, just trying to lay up. Shin Shield follows suit, stays left. But snuck it in under the wire. Jihan Sol with the 4th birdie for the round. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to crack the top half. She'll bow out of the tournament there, but does so on a high.
그림 프레임이니까 좀 이따 내가 상황 봐서 뒤로 가질 수 있어. 그때 내가 얘기해 줄게. 쉬고 있어.
So here's our target. A trio of attempts. .110. Ian won the first shot. Punching shield 92 meters. She is safely inside the cut line now. The trick will be to not have any missteps and jeopardize it. She's in a good run of form at the moment, though. So Yorim gave up on it fairly early. She had a feeling that the break was going to come early. Coach E1, this is really just a setup, isn't it? At 12.9. Not gonna lack for speed. I stand corrected. Looked like a rocket off the face of the putter, but ultimately enough of an upslope just before the flag to zap it of the pace it needed to get up. He was closest to the pin after 279 meters. How about that? Don't count her out just yet. She's got a trick or two up her sleeve yet. 8 iron at 122. Slow down now. Okay, young Eugene. It's going to be your most dramatic shot remaining today, because the next and last will be rudimentary thanks to that excellent little excursion. Kim Min-sol is in a bit more of a problematic position. 103 meters, a pitching wedge. From the rough. How will she fare? That's pretty good, all things considered. Peng Shin-chil can get under par. Oof, it's quick. And she was waiting for that late action back to the left to get onto the line. Unfortunately, it's not going to count. Even will be the score, heading to 17. Young Eugene, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 birdies today, if not for that unfortunate blip on number 10 with the double. Pardon me, an unfortunate blip with the double, which would have taken her otherwise to 10 under par. Kim So-ah, the amateur, playing very much like a seasoned pro. Runs the boundary, stays on the green, but she's at the back left corner. And she didn't want to look up until the last minute. Keep that head down. She looked up just in time to see her 5th birdie fall. 6 under par now, tied for 4th. Kim Gaui 2. Wrong side of the green after that approach. Even the most unlikely of holeouts. I'm just short, but it's a good shot nevertheless. Okay, she's playing for her tournament these last 3 holes. Great 3rd shot, setting up this chance at a birdie. Flag in, please. And she uses it to her advantage. 8 holes between birdies, but she's back to improving the score, going low. But she wanted to avoid a bogey. This is by no means a gimme. Fifth line. Under the pressure. She'll be hoping that's a dress rehearsal for Saturday and more importantly for Sunday as well. Kim Min-sol for a 2 under par score through 36 holes downhill It boogies. Maybe it boogies a bit too much. Quick and left. Out with the 36, in with the 34 for a 2 under par round of 70 today. Look at the 17th and what's on offer. Without further ado, EA1 and the 7-iron. Lands about level with the flag and rolls on past. Is 10 under par on the cards for Coach E1 today. Speck of trouble with the opening drive. Lands on the hillside rough. That leaves No Sungi in the group. She fares the finest, working that 7-iron to perfection. Pang Xin-Shu. 8-iron. She's got the power, so she doesn't need as much club. How many times has she hit this shot on the range? Looks like maybe 7 was the club of destiny after all. That's how the return to the birdie column came. Pars 10 and 11, double at 12. Otherwise, this round couldn't have gone much better. Just ever so slightly misjudged. Close call though, no doubt about it. So left a little on the table. Function Shields 16.6 from the opposite side of the green. Starts up. Here it comes on down to within a meter or so. Crucial juncture of the second round. DA1 knows she's in it. DA1. You can call it a formidable go. Didn't look particularly like she was bubbling with confidence standing over the ball. So avoiding a bogey, that is going to be priority 1, 2, and 3. Stood up early. Knew it was offline. Double at 12, bogey at 14. Sandwiched with a birdie in between. Coach E1 setting up what she hopes is a final birdie. 10 under still eludes her. shouts the exasperation from the gallery. Simple roll and finish for Bungxin Xiu. Sungi take the par and focus on what she needs to do at 18. It's a hole that can be attacked. It's not the first speed bump of the round. She's been able to mentally reset on more than one occasion today. This is the green that they will eventually find themselves at in about 10 minutes time. Right now it's occupied by our leader, Kochi 1, 15.6 meters. The break is slightly right to left. She needed it to go the other way. Even then, might have just been a bit short. Park Ji-young, this is pressure, but as pressure packed as you can get in the second round. For birdie and +1, just short. That was her tournament. It came down entirely to one moment, or with the benefit of hindsight, it could have come down to 145 previous strokes. The 75 yesterday was the real undoing for her, unfortunately, and the exceptional veteran will bow to the tournament after 2 days of play.
계속 꾸준히 있어야 돼.
Kim In-sun 7 is in the exact same situation. Birdie, and there's a ticket punched to tomorrow and Sunday. No, the break is right to left. Stay straight. Good. Excellent. 3 birdies on the back nine on the way into a 34. She knew that was the score that was needed, and rightfully celebrating with her caddy post-make. Kochi won. Just 1 bogey today, came with the 4th, otherwise she had picked up exactly where she left off. Strong opening round and backs it up with another solid 18. By all indications and all the metrics, she'll be our leader on Saturday, and the ever important moving day arrives tomorrow. 1 with a rare miscue. Too much power, not enough accuracy. She blasts that well beyond the fairway and ends up in the sand. King Soa still with a quartet of holes to play today. Mathematically, she's got the time, but she'd have to go on quite the run to get all the way to the top today. I'll never say never. Off into the trees with a rather loud impact with the cherry blossom. Certainly an oops from Pang Xingqiu. So she'll take a provisional. Not entirely optimistic that that ball will be found, though she'll go for her search to try to avoid the penalty. Still not finding the fairway in regulation, but this ball is accessible at least, and we're not sure yet if we can say that about the first. Okay, so the effort that had everything going for it has not been the most smooth sailing. Final group for the afternoon. Pang Xingqiu casting a cursory glance out towards the trees. We've been hoping that someone might have been able to come around and let her know that the first shot was found.
네, 알겠습니다.
Great look at just how much real estate there is to aim for on this 18th green. Though the grounds crew and tournament committee said, that's fabulous, we have so much to work with. What if we just stuck the flag right on the left side? Test of bravery, test of accuracy, and the combination of the two that is required. No Seung-hee must birdie here. So the setup takes on an extra importance. It's close, but is it close enough?
그냥 우측 넓게 써줘요. 네, 알겠습니다.
EA1 is the next to try. Rolls it all the way to the back left corner, but here it comes. Shield rolls in as the furthest from the pin. In the meantime, back to 15. Kim So-won trying to save a par. That's done. Stays at 6 under. March up to the 18th green. Well attended today, but we're expecting some pretty good sized crowds this weekend. Certainly if the weather holds the way it has been doing. Guess we have a minute here while we wait for EA1 and company to get up, prepare their shots, to just take a peek to what the weekend might have in store for us. Fabulous again today. 22 degrees when we started, still 21. Expecting a little bit of rain tomorrow, or maybe a little bit's doing a bit of heavy lifting there. Good chunk of rain in the forecast for tomorrow morning. The sun is supposed to come out, but it's going to cool things right off. It should also have a pretty drastic impact on the greens and their speeds. More than a few players remarking that they've been quick in these first 2 rounds. Sunday, should the predictions holds, no rain, but no sun either. We'll have a cloudy championship round. Can't always go 4 for 4. We'd like to go 3 for 3 when it comes to the birdies here at the last. Well, No Seung-hee with the most crucial putt of the 3 will step up and address the ball first. It's going to break left. Does it break too early? Yes, unfortunately. That's exactly what it does. It's a long season, we know that. first one at home in your own backyard takes on a little extra significance, of course. You want to start the season strong. We have 31 events scheduled, though, this year. Nosuni will have plenty of time to return to the great heights that she soared to last year. One of those groups that you'll look back on and say, wow, we were spoiled to see these three play together. And Peng Xinxiu with a close call. She'll drop and will skate behind by the skin of her teeth to get into tomorrow. Double bogey, beg your pardon. Misread that graphic. She needed that putt to make it. All of a sudden, she's on the wrong side of the cut line as well. Remember that tee shot gone into the woods, and it costs her a seat at the table this weekend. Now, of course, it is always possible. It's a projected cut line for a reason. Get enough bogeys from the stragglers, and I use that as a term of endearment, those who are still with a few holes left to play, and that cut line could move, but +2 looks like it might not cut it. It's a much different proposition for EA1, meanwhile. Finished one stroke back of Im Jin Young in Thailand a couple of weeks ago. It was a brilliant opportunity right in front of her. For 7 under, would have been sole possession of 4th. She'll have to share it instead. And you give her all the credit for bouncing back from a double bogey on the first of 18 and cruise to the finish line. EA1, of course, in pursuit of that, what is proving to be elusive 10th victory. Is certainly a major accomplishment to get into that double-digit territory. I suppose if you wanted to really look at the past for her, the Remix Championship as well, could make the case that 10 is there. She's very much in the fight, though that was an opportunity she'll rue. I think that's a sentiment that is shared amongst the group, with the double bogey from Peng Xinxiu and No Seung-gi, despite turning up the wick in the final few holes, seemingly going to come up just a little bit short. 3.5 hours of KLPGA Tour golf that we were absolutely thrilled to bring you today. The stars are out in full force, and they, as is always the case, had varying degrees of euphoria and frustration on the day. None so more than Coach E1, who started the day as the leader after her 67 yesterday. Follows that up today with a 68 and has a 1-stroke advantage heading into moving day Saturday tomorrow. Yang Yo-jin, back-to-back rounds of 68. Kim Ji-young 2 shoots a 66 today. I can't forget about Kim So-ah either, who for a brief time was our leader this afternoon. But this is where we'll leave you for the day. We thank you, as always, for your continued viewership and support of the KLPGA Tour, and we'll look forward to having you back again with us tomorrow. As is tradition, we will move the clocks back an hour for our start time, so that means we can expect to see you, well, around, let's do some quick math here. It is late in the day after all. I believe it's 1 p.m. local time in Gyeonggi-do. But for now, I've been Adam Jenkins. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evenings, everyone. And we'll see you back tomorrow for more from the SIENA Open here at the SIENA Voluto, the first domestic tournament of the year on the KLPGA Tour.